guys, welcome back to Aura Life. Today we're gonna dive into a video that was requested by many of you, and that is my comparison and breakdown between my Peloton hack that I used to have and my new Peloton bike. So let's jump right in. Hi again, family. It's Ashley. It's nice to see you again. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you joined me on this video. My name's Ashley. I'm a mom and a rave mom, and I create content all around self-care, my bucket list adventures, and raves and festivals. And a big component of my channel is Peloton. Now, if you don't know the history of me and Peloton, I have been a part of the Peloton community 2 years. I started in 2018 with the app, and I started with the hack version of the bike. So I actually bought a Schwinn IC2, and then I used the Peloton app to screen mirror onto my TV and do all my workouts that way. And obviously I did all my other strength training, yoga, all of that stuff on the app. And I recently had the opportunity to upgrade to the Peloton bike. I thought maybe I would do it down the line, and I was perfectly content with the hack, but I was lucky enough to do it this past year. In this video, I thought I would break it down for you guys, some of the features that you can get from the hack, or some of the good features about the hack versus some of the things that you get with the Peloton bike that you might not get with the hack. And this way, hopefully you can make the decision on if you want to invest in the Peloton bike or if you would prefer to go about it in a different type of way. So the first thing in terms of my list of the things for the hack that I thought is kind of tongue-in-cheek, and I see this all the time on the Peloton app riders group, is that in the app there is the option of a pause button. And mamas, that is especially important for us because, as you know, we have toddlers. Hey, if you need a bathroom break, something like that, you can pause the button. There's many times where my son's like, I'm hungry in the middle of the ride, and even though I don't want to stop my workout, I have to press that pause button to make sure that he's taken care of. So I did like that feature from the Peloton hack. On the flip side of that, if you have the Peloton, there is no pause button at the moment. You can't get off the bike, come back on. So if that's a feature that you feel like you need, the Peloton hack is right for you. So the next thing in terms of comparing the two bikes is the ability to adjust your resistance. So on either bike, obviously you have the knob to turn and make the resistance turn to the right to make sure that it gets harder, and you have a more steeper road, and you turn it left to make it easier. With the Peloton hack, you typically have to go based off a feeling, which is totally fine. It's as if you were going to a typical spin class where the instructor tells you that you feel like you're pedaling through sand, you're climbing up a steep hill, etc. The great thing about the Peloton instructors is that they do give you those cues. In addition, there are certain bikes, such as the Schwinn IC4, where they have converter charts that you can put or stick on your bike, or you can keep on your phone, and that way you can get a more apples to apples range of resistance without being on the actual Peloton bike. Obviously, on the flip side of that, if you are on the Peloton bike, it's really nice to see the range in which of resistance that you need to be in. You can adjust to the exact resistance that the instructor calls out. By doing that, I've noticed that I'm more on my P's and Q's, and I'm less resistant to take that resistance off the knob. I'm getting a harder workout and more calories burned because of that. Thing is Apple Watch integration, or even your Fitbit integration. One thing that I noticed about having the Peloton hack is when I did my workouts, the Apple Watch would go automatically, and it would automatically sync into my activity rings for the allotted for the day, for the total calorie burn of the day. I didn't have really any issues with it. There may be moments in the class, if the Wi-Fi in my house in this particular area is a little weaker, that there might be a little bit of data missing, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but all in all, I didn't have any any issues with it tracking my calories. On the flip side of that, I did get the regular bike, the regular Peloton bike. I didn't get the Bike Plus strictly because I already have so many screen mirroring devices that I felt like I could still mirror to my screen and do some of the bike boot camp. So it wasn't worth the additional amount of money for me personally. But because of that, it also does not come with Apple Watch integration, which the Bike Plus does come with Apple Watch integration. My little workaround is this little device here. It's a heart rate monitor. This is the one that I use. I put it on my forearm and I connect it to the Peloton bike. This is a lot more accurate in tracking my calories, and then after my workout is done, my calories burn syncs and my workout syncs to my Apple Watch very seamlessly, and it's very accurate. So there are workarounds around that, but I just wanted you to keep that in mind. This was pretty cheap. I think the original edition was $50. I went up a little bit and got the $80 one because I wanted the latest and greatest. I'll make sure to link down below this heart rate monitor in case you want to look at it. This comparison that I wanted to share with you guys is clicking in and out of the bikes. Me personally, when I had the Peloton Hack, I replaced the pedals that the bike came with on my Schwinn IC2, and I put in SPD cleats so that I could click in and click out. And if you want to take a look at the exact shoes and the exact cleats that I have, I'll make sure to link the video of my Peloton Hack here so you can take a look of my entire previous setup. But for me, it was so easy to click in and out. Once I got a hang of it, it's a lot easier. It doesn't take as much manpower to click out, or leg power, as I might say, to click in and out. Now, in comparison to that, the Peloton bike has Delta clips, which I believe are a lot harder to click in and out. And I had heard about this when I originally got my Peloton Hack at the local bike store. They told me that Delta are harder for beginners to get used to. Because of that, you might see on the official Peloton, the group on Facebook, that a lot of people will end up keeping their shoes clicked into the bike, which I think is, wow, that's insane. And they'll just get out of their shoes at the end of the workout because it's so difficult to get out of them. Now, in my experience, because I already had the experience of clicking into my Peloton Hack, it was a lot more easy for me to get a hang of it when I upgraded to the Peloton bike. And even though it did take me a little wiggling and a little getting used to, I can click in and out completely fine. It does take a lot more leg power, and especially at the end of a ride sometimes when I'm exhausted, it may take me 1 or 2 tries, but I can still get out. So I just wanted to keep you aware of the difference in clicking in and out. Another feature that is a little bit different when you compare the Peloton Hack to the Peloton Bike is integrated Spotify. So one of the things that I love so much about the Peloton community is the integration of music. They have artist series, they have a DJ that's on staff, and you can tell that the instructors put a lot of thought into the playlist that they select to really get you pumped up and motivated. And on the app as well on the bike, you'll actually be able to see the list of songs in the playlist. It's great. People use that to select rides or select workouts if they're in a particular mood or vibe. But they also use that if there's a song that they really like, and they make sure to note that later. The difference is on the Hack, you're not able to directly choose a song and add it to your Spotify playlist. It's just listed there. But on the bike, you can actually add to a playlist in real time during a ride or even after the fact. So if I am riding, there's a little heart button that I can click next to the song, and that automatically adds to a playlist called My Peloton Songs. And actually, I have been adding to that list since November. And one of the things that I will do every week on my Instagram account is to put a little list of all of the songs that I have added to that playlist and to share it with you. So if you want to take a look at it, if you're looking for vibes or tunes to work out to outside of Peloton or just to motivate you during the day, make sure you check out my Spotify playlist. I'll also link it down below, but it's always in my bio on my Instagram page, so check it out. All right, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which I alluded to a little bit earlier, was the resistance difficulty level. One of the things that I instantly noticed when I switched from my Peloton hack to the Peloton bike is just how much harder it is to pedal at any resistance. And I think maybe it's because how the bike is constructed. This is, I believe, a magnetic belt. The other one I had was a chain belt, so that automatically changes the amount of resistance and the feel of my road. But also, because of how they're indicating the resistance, I noticed right away that I was not pedaling at the resistance that I should have been. And it's been very hard to get used to. But on the flip side of that, it's great because I feel like I'm getting a more effective and smarter workout, if that makes sense. Like I'm really focusing in on doing my max effort in every single workout now, and I don't have to think about it. I can kind of set it and forget it. With the Peloton hack, my piece of advice for you is to really be vigilant, be kind of on the offensive. If the goal for you is weight loss or becoming stronger and getting better and better, really be cognizant of your resistance and make sure you turn up that knob a little bit more extra than you normally would have. The next comparison that I wanted to talk to you about was tracking your PRs. Now, with the Peloton hack, there are a lot of people who use the Wahoo cadence sensors, and they use apps out there that really helps them track their cadence, and that's really great for them. And I believe there's apps that will even track your progress over time. With Peloton, all of that is integrated into your bike. So you don't have to worry about outside apps even if that's not for you with the hack. There isn't really a way for you to track your output, to track kind of when you PR'd, when you put the most max output out there, or you did the best that you possibly could do other than calories. So with the bike, that's all seamlessly smart and put into that. So for instance, if I take a 30-minute ride and my max output was 157 for that ride, that was my PR. The next time I jump on and do another 30-minute ride, it already has my PR there, and I can chase myself. It'll show me, and I got that PR, I was at this many output, I was at this resistance, I was at this point in the ride, and I can chase myself. And personally for me, that's more motivating than any other feature on this bike. The ability to beat myself from the past and to do better and better myself over time, I think is really an awesome feature. So that's one thing that I would say that I have benefited the most from by upgrading, is being able to see where I was at my best and being able to beat myself or to track how I'm going to get better. Needless to say, if you are interested in the hack, that's great. There are other ways to track your progress over time, but it does take a little bit more effort to do so. All right, the next topic that I wanted to talk about when I compare the two bikes is a little bit controversial, and it's all about the leaderboard. I've been a part of the community for 2 years, and I constantly hear, oh, you should upgrade to the bike because of the leaderboard. The leaderboard is what motivates you to beat other people. And then, of course, I have my app fam, and they're all like, well, I mean, I don't need a leaderboard. I don't need a leaderboard to do my best. All that matters is that I jumped on that bike and I got the most out of my workout? Here's my thought. Personally, I have to say I'm with my app fam. Although I love the leaderboard and it's a great feature to have, that was not the reason why I decided to ultimately upgrade. It's great to see kind of where I fall on the leaderboard, but you guys, that also fluctuates depending on the type of workout I'm doing. You're gonna have more hardcore people in your bike boot camps, which means I'll probably fall towards the end of the leaderboard or towards the bottom of the leaderboard for those workouts versus an artist here's Britney Spears ride or something that everybody, no matter the levels, are gonna take. So it really fluctuates here and there depending on the ride that I'm taking or the type of workout I'm doing. But then also, I am at my own personal fitness level. To me, it's more important to beat myself. Seeing numbers and seeing, you know, that I'm number 36,540 really doesn't mean much to me. Now, what I take the leaderboard as me personally is I'm trying to make it a personal goal to fall in the middle of the pack. So whenever I take a ride, I try to fall in the middle of the pack. Sometimes it's fine, it's great to see me beat some people that are near me above and below, and that kind of gives me an indicator if I'm going to be hitting a PR for that ride versus other days. But really guys, the leaderboard isn't the most important feature for me. Now, one thing that is cool about the leaderboard is you can filter by hashtags. Colleagues at my company that I work at, my 9-to-5, we actually started our own hashtag, and I'm able to filter to see who's there with me. It makes it so easy to also high five people, but I can also see where my standing is within that specific leaderboard, and that's great because it's nice to sometimes beat your friends, right? But all in all, it's not as important to me as some of the other features of the bike. What is a feature that I think that the Peloton bike does really well versus hacking it out is power zone training. I think one of the biggest benefits of getting a Peloton bike is power zone. Power zone is described by the instructors as your personal training on the bike. So basically what it entails is you do an FTP test. That is usually a 20-minute ride, and in that ride they determine your zones. You go from zone 1 all the way to zone 7. The zones are determined by different output. So, you know, maybe zone 1 for me, my output is 50 to 60, and then it gives you a range. Once you take that fit test, all of your rides will show up with metrics of what your zones are, and you can make sure to target those in any of the rides, your hit rides, especially your power zone rides and whatnot. And then the coming power zone rides are a lot easier because some of the rides are very explicit about which zones you're going to be in. So there might be a ride that you're only going to be in zone 3 to 4. There might be a ride where you're really pushing max effort and you're gonna be doing zone 6 to 7. So it's really important, and it's really nice to have that. The other flip side is if you do have the Peloton hack, you can certainly go based off of feeling. I tried Power Zone for the first time when I actually had the hack, and I went strictly off of feeling, and I actually used my heart rate to set zones, even though it's not necessarily apples to apples, but it did help me to understand how my body is getting conditioned. But all in all, it's really, really difficult to duplicate power zone rides with the hack. There isn't really a tool out there that gives you the output metric that the Peloton bike does. So if you're looking for a solution or an equipment to really train you, want to participate in the Peloton classes and not be limited, I would recommend upgrading to the Peloton bike. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is membership. So when you have the app, it comes with a sign-in for only one person. Now, my OGs might recall back in the day, that was about 2 years ago, and prior to, you had unlimited access to users, even if you had the app, and the app cost $9.99. Now the app costs $12.99, and recently, I believe in the last year, they took away the ability to add unlimited users. So now you have to kind of consider that if you are going to get the Peloton app and just do the hack. If you have loved ones or families and friends, they're gonna have to get their own account and pay the separate fee. Now, with the Peloton membership, although it is more expensive, it is $39 a month, that is unlimited users. So I can add my husband, I've added my mom, I can add anyone that I want to add to that for unlimited access to the Peloton app. So I do like that. I think that's really cool, especially as more and more people in my circle are doing Peloton now because of COVID. So it's nice having the ability, kind of like a Netflix subscription, to add as many users as I would like. All right, another difference between the two, I would say, is the ability to find people on the leaderboard. So this is interesting. As you make friends within the Peloton community, there may be some rides or workouts that you want to do together. I typically do ride in pairs, or I'll ride in a swarm ride with a group of individuals that I have connected with online, specifically the Black Girl Magic group. It's really hard, the Peloton hack, to filter by those people. Leave on the leaderboard. From the Peloton side, they're not able to see the hack people. So anyone riding via the app, they're not able to see on the leaderboard, but they can see a person. If that person high fives them, they can high five back. So if I'm on the Peloton bike and someone that has a hack fives me, I can high five them back and then they will show up. That is one of the things that is difficult. On the app side, you don't have the ability to filter through hashtags. On the app, you don't have the ability to see the people that you're following, which I can do on my bike. You can high five as many people as you can. There were many days when I had the Peloton hack where I would just scroll through and find my person and make sure that I high five. But you can see if you're on a ride that has 26,000 people, that could be kind of difficult. Now, in the grand scheme of all of this, does it really matter if you can high five someone in the moment or not? Not really. I mean, we're here to work out, we're here to burn calories, but one of the things about the Peloton community is the interactivity. So it is nice now that I have the bike to have the ability to see everyone, to high five people, and then after my ride I can also video chat or live video chat with people, my friends. I think some people work out with the live video chat. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm huffing and puffing. I need to focus. I'm not going to video chat with you until after the ride, but you do have that ability. All right, and obviously last but not least, which I'm sure is the reason why you clicked on this video, cost difference. When I started Peloton and did my hack, I'm going to break down the cost for you right here. So the first thing that I bought, which was the Schwinn IC2 bike, the seat cushion, and the equipment mat, this all came in a bundle. I paid $339.89. I also bought an iPhone mount that I could put on my bike so that I could stream for $21. I bought a 3rd generation Apple TV for $40. I bought 3-pound weights for $8.22 at Target. I got a wire bike basket to put at the front to hold my weights for $10.39. And I already owned my TV. I already owned my Apple Watch. I already got the pedals that were gifted to me. And I did buy some cycling shoes for $80 on sale. The monthly membership for the digital app, as I mentioned earlier, is $12.99. So that totaled to $512.40. Now, when I upgraded to the Peloton bike, I received my cycling shoes, my Peloton 3-pound weights, I got some earbuds, I got a 12-month bike limited warranty, and obviously I got the bike. And total and then I also had the membership of $39 per month. So total, that was $2,081.55, and that includes tax. And I also had a promo code from a friend of mine who already owned the bike, so that basically paid for my shoes. So the shoes were kind of for free. So that was the total there. Now, one thing I do want you to keep in mind is, yeah, there's a stark difference. That's why I always say to people, it's more important to me that you get fit and that you get your body moving. So whatever works within your budget, I say go for it. Now, I will say that the quality of bike has vastly improved. Although I love my Schwinn IC2 and I believe it's a very sturdy bike, it's long lasting, this bike does have some really great features on it. There is gripping on the bike, there is, it's pretty stable, and there's the ability to change the seat, the handlebars backwards and forwards, which I didn't have with the IC2. I could only adjust the seat. So I do like that too. There's obviously two bottle holders here that I didn't have. I only had one. And then there's already a built-in rack for my weights, which I didn't have. I actually had to buy one. As I mentioned, I bought a wire basket and attached it with zip ties. So all of that is already incorporated into the bike. Another question that I know I get that people constantly ask is if you can just get the bike and forgo the $39 membership and use the app membership for $12.99. No, you cannot. You could do just rides on this bike, but it's not going to give you any of the metrics. It's not going to function properly. You would have to use the app to do that, and you're not going to get the same experience. It kind of becomes a bike that's just a bike. There's nothing special to it, and you'll lose all your leaderboard standings and all the metrics. So me personally, I just think if you're gonna do the hack, get another bike, use the app. It doesn't make sense to buy the Peloton bike and then try to downgrade to the app. It doesn't make sense to me at all. All in all, like I said, do what's best for your budget. There is no shame. May I repeat, there is no shame in starting out with the hack and saving your pennies if that's what you want to do and upgrading. There's also no shame in just doing the hack and never upgrading, okay? Like, there's this sense sometimes in the community, there's this elitism that, oh, if you don't have the Peloton bike, like, you're not a part of the community, or if you don't have the Peloton bike, like, what are you doing? Like, it's kind of like hot potatoes, as we like to say in the Midwest. No. I think that the goal should be that you move, do what's right for your body, and at the end of the day, we're all trying to better ourselves and become stronger. It doesn't matter which way you go about it. If that works for you, that works for you. And might I add too, that the benefit for many who do the Peloton hack is if something were to happen to the Peloton community, to the brand, they still have the ability to have their bike that functions properly, and they might be able to also shop around. We have so many new digital websites out there now. We have Apple Fitness Plus, I believe is what they call it. So many different people in the digital fitness at-home space that with the hack, you have the ability to try those things. So it's definitely something to keep an open mind to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so excited to bring this content to you because I know there aren't a lot of videos out there that compare the two. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, make sure you click the like button. Make sure you click that subscribe button for more Peloton related content this year. I'm excited with everything that I have scheduled and planned for you guys. It's gonna be great. Want to get notified when new Peloton videos post, make sure you click that little bell. And if you have any questions or thoughts or feelings behind the differences between the Peloton Bike and the Peloton Hack, make sure you comment them below. I really want to know what your thoughts are and how you view the differences between the two. I love you guys so much, and as I always like to say, positive self, positive wealth. Bye guys, see you later.